All right. Good morning, traders. Welcome to a new week. Good morning, traders. Welcome to a new week. Welcome to the Smart Candles. If you can hear me properly, please let me know in the comment section. And if you can see my screen properly, please let me also know in the comment section. If you can see my screen, let me know in the comment section. And hear me. Let me also know in the comment section. If you can see my screen, let me know, please, so we can proceed. And if you can hear me, let me also know so we can also proceed, please. If you can see my screen, let me know. And if my mic is audible enough, please let me know so we can proceed, please. It's very, very important. Okay, so I think everything is okay. So we can actually proceed now. And if you're having issues with maybe the screen not being bright enough, just look at the top right of your phone, the top right corner, click on the setting icon, then what? Click on quality. If you click on your quality, then choose higher picture quality. Higher picture quality to get a clear view, and chart resolution to also be brighter. So just do that now to get a better resolution. Okay, so let's start with discussing how was last week. How was last week? If you actually took a trade last week, let me know in the comment section. And how was your trade last week? Let me know. Was last week a great week for you, or was last week a bad one, in profit, in loss, or break even? Let's know in the comment section. For me, I think I took only one trade last week. I took only one trade, and that was a sell on BTC USD. It was actually a sell on BTC, and I think that was almost running in over 1:2.5. Then market came back to take me out at break even. So I don't know. Let me know if you actually took a trade last week. How did it go? How was your last week? In profit, or in loss, or in break even? Or you didn't trade at all last week? Let me know in the comment section while we are waiting for others to join. And also do well to like this YouTube live. Do well to like this YouTube live and do well to also share the link so that others can also join. We do this just once a week. Okay, so I just pinned the channel's free free Telegram link for those that are not in the Telegram community, so you can actually what be taking my own setup directly. My own setup directly. In our community, we don't rush. We just wait for our own opportunity to come to us and what we execute. One thing most traders don't understand is you don't need to click the buy and sell button always. You don't need to click it always. Something you have to get your own setup before you proceed. You have to get your own setup before you proceed. This one everyone is saying I didn't trade last week, I didn't trade last week. People didn't trade last week because of is it lack of funds, or you didn't get your setup, or you're not in the free Telegram group to actually see the setups we shared there, or what was the reason? What was the reason? Because I actually dropped a trade within the week. I actually dropped a trade. I been like 2 trades in the channel. So come on. Why? Or you guys are actually busy or something. Okay, let's proceed. As usual, we always start with BTC USDT, and don't forget, in year, all we aim at is what A plus setups, A plus setup, and in as much as we are targeting or looking at A plus setup, we don't just click the buy or sell or over leverage. We still make sure that what our risk management is in check. Our risk management is in check. We don't follow because okay, since it's an A plus setup, we want to what overexpose our account. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. We'll make sure that what risk management is also still in check. So okay, so we'll look at BTC on the weekly time frame. Lack of funds. Got billionaires in the house. So if you are new in this life, don't read that comment section, no, please. Those are billionaires. They are looking for who to deceive. Okay, so here we are on the BTC weekly time frame. You're on the BTC weekly time frame, and on the BTC weekly time frame, we can see that the market is still very, very bullish. In as much as on the daily or on the smaller time frame, we are having a what sell position, but on the weekly, we are still very bullish. We are still very bullish. So let's go straight into marking our point of interest on the weekly time frame. So here on the weekly time frame, we had what this break of structure at this point. Okay, that was a liquidity sweep at that point. Then we had what this break to the upside. Having this break to the upside, this tells you that what this is our weekly what our weekly order block. So you can see that from the weekly time frame, BTC is still what very, very bullish till this low is actually taken out. Till this low is actually, let me remove this. Till this low is actually taken out, that was when we'll consider BTC bearish. So for now, on the weekly time frame, BTC is very, very bullish. Now let's step down to the daily time frame to actually look at what the daily is telling us. So here on the daily time frame, here we are on the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, what can we see? What can we see? So on the daily, we had what this break of structure to the upside. Here we had another what break of structure to the upside, and we have this change of character to the downside. Having this change of character to the downside, this tells you that what on the daily time frame, market has flipped from bullish to bearish. So we should be looking at for what more sell setup on BTC from the daily time frame. Now looking at this point, this is what on the daily we have this order block sitting here on the daily. And why are we marking this particular zone? We have our fair value gap. At this point, there's a fair value gap, and if maybe you don't know how to actually use our fair value gap, the free classes that will be hosting from October to December, all of these things will be taught in that class. So if you've not registered for the class, do well to leave a comment in the comment section, or if you have my WhatsApp number, DM me and you'll be added to the group. So these are fair value gap, and this is what our liquidity. This is our liquidity on the daily that we actually want to see price what take out. So looking at the daily, we can see that what the price is still what bearish to the downside, and where are we expecting this price to actually rally into from the daily time frame? This is the last supply we have on this daily time frame on the daily, and we have what this liquidity sitting here. Let's fast forward to 4 hours, then 1 hour to actually what get our trade set up. So I will take out this. I will take out everything, so we'll have a cleaner chart. So here we are on the 4 hours. Here we are on the 4 hours. So first, we'll be looking at for what our sell confluences. Since you already know that what we are looking for, what sell buyers, and here is already what our demand zone. This was where we marked on the daily time frame. Let me zoom at the chart so you get to see, and maybe after the live section, you can still go over to your own chart to mark this same thing on your chart, so that you will have a better understanding, because it's not all about what joining the live section. After joining, if you don't go back to practice, you can't still get it right. So these are demand zone on our 4 hours time frame, and that's what we'll just mark. Then we'll go to look for the sell setup on the 4 hours, then the 1 hour. So these are 4 hours. These are 4 hours setup. This is what we have, and we already said at this point, this low is what our liquidity. Our liquidity that we actually want to see price take out. Now, if you look at this point, we have a minor what order block, and that's why we are seeing all of this price trying to what reject off this zone. Sorry. So now let's go down to the 1 hour to actually get the most current price action and what we should be expecting BTC to do within today till weekend. And if you're not on the Telegram channel, please do well to use the pin comment in the comment section to join our free Telegram channel. All our setups will be shared on that channel. So this is the chart on 1 hour. This is the chart on 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, we'll just be looking at what the current price action all the way down to what we have now. So on the 1 hour, this was our external was the last high we had on BTC. This was the last high we had on BTC, and this was the low. that was taken out. So at this point we had what? A change of character. We had a change of character at this point. So this tells you that what the trend has changed from bullish to bearish. We had the what? Break of structure at this point. Market still took out another what? Another low again at this point, which is tells you that what? The market is bearish. The market is bearish, and in a bearish market, you want to see that what lows are taken out as you what move forward. At this one, we had what sweep. We had sweep. A lot of persons will mark this as what their break of structure, and that's the reason why we are hosting these free classes, so that what to accommodate those that don't have money to actually what pay for mentorship, and we'll try to be doing that at least once every year. Market came back into this supply here, continue its bearish trend to the downside. Here was taken out. We had what our break of structure to the downside. Still continue to the downside again at this point. I'm just marking the external range because of what time. Okay, so at this last point, this is the most recent break of structure we had at this point before what market starting what reversing. Now, when you're marking your break of structures or you're marking your market trend, what do you want to look at? You want to look at the external point of interest. We focus more on the what external point of interest. Now, talking about the external point of interest, what are you looking at? This is the last high, and what this is the last low. Whatever happens, okay, let me mark this. This is the what external high, and this is the external what external low. So whatever happens, whatever price does within this point to this point, from this low to this high, it's what an internal price action. That's what internal price action. So if you're actually looking for a buy within this point to this point, you should know that what your take profit should be at least at this supply zone, at this supply zone here. That is where you actually want to take your profit. I don't know if it's making sense. Now, from this point, let's get to mark this. So at this point, this was our low. This was the last high, the mini high we had at this point. So this was where we had our change of character. We had what this other block. We had this other block here. We had that other block on the 1 hour. And what can you see? If you see, we had all of these candle wicks. And I said candle wicks are what? Liquidity. We have this fair value gap. Now, price came back down at this point, giving us what? Engineered liquidity. Price pulled up, came back down into this demand zone, what? Responded to what? To the upside. Taking out what? This high again. Now, price took out this high. What do you want to look out for? You want to look out for more buy position. I have to explain this so that we'll get to the most current price action to actually know what we'll be looking at for today or this week. Okay, excuse. Okay. Price went up at this point. Okay, so you see this massive push to the upside. Price came back to this point, tapped into what? This demand zone at this point. And what that was the reason why we had that buy to the upside. You can see we have liquidity before our point of interest. Very, very important. The price responded to the upside, giving us what? Another what? break or structure. Don't forget, everything we are having here is what? Internal price movement. Everything we are having here is what? Internal price movement. That's it. Okay, so price pushed up again, giving us what? This break or structure. And this was the last what? Demand zone we had at this point. This was the last demand zone at this point. We have our fair value gap and we have our liquidity. This is what the inducement at this point. The market tapped into this zone, responded to what? To the upside as we want to see. Now, another high was actually what? Taken at this point. After this high was taken out, don't forget this is the supply zone we are trading into. And if you want to know how all of these things are marked properly, do join the free class that will be starting next month. Now, this is our supply zone, and what can we see? We see what? We have our fair value gap at this point. We have what? Our liquidity. This was our liquidity. This chart was also shared in the free Telegram channel, and we actually took a sell. For those that are in the community there, you know that this trade was dropped. So this was the trade idea. We actually took a sell from this point, and we are expecting this low, all of these lows to be what? To be taken out. Let me take this out so we get to actually see what we are expecting. So we are expecting this low to be taken out, because why were we expecting this low to be taken out? You know, the external range controls the internal range. I don't know if you understand. Now, if you have, okay, let me show you something at this point. This was the last supply we had at this point. Market tapped into, took out this low, and that is what we are expecting for price to actually do within this point. This price tapped into this zone and what? Responded to what? To the downside. And what were we expecting? We wanted to actually see this price tap into this zone, continue to the downside. But our first take profit was at this line. The market got to 2.5 thereabout and was reversed and took us at break even above this high. Now, what are we expecting for this week? For this week, we can see that what? Price still mitigated this what? Supply zone. I don't use my supply zone or my order block 2 times. I don't. I use them just once. So price coming back to still mitigate this zone was a no trade for me, because I was actually wanting to see price actually break above this point. But what? The price took the price didn't take out this this high at this point. So looking at this high, what can we see now from this current price action? Let's zoom the chart in, because at this point in time you have to be very, very, very careful what you are doing on BTC. You have to be very, very careful, because all of this is what our liquidity. We want to see price take out. We want to see price take out all of this liquidity. So if we are looking at that to be the scenario we should be seeing, then we have what? This internal change of character at this point. We have this change of character here, and we have what? This break or structure to the downside. We have liquidity sitting at this point. These are liquidity sitting at this point. Where is the other block we actually want to take our trade from? This is the other block. Now, why are we actually taking this trade from here? We have what? Our fair value gap. Our fair value gap. And you can see that what? This candle, the strength it comes with is very, very aggressive. The impulsive move on this candle, it's very, very high. So we want to see similar price reaction at this point. We want to see what? Similar price action at this point. So looking at this, we should be looking for a sell setup here. We want to get a sell setup at this point with our stop loss. Okay, let's use that as our stop loss. Why we target at least a 1:3. If you're targeting 1:3, this is our take profit. So this trade will be shared on the free channel. And for those here, you can actually what copy this setup here. You can actually what copy the setup. The entry is, let me display the entry and everything. So you can see this is the entry sitting here. This is a stop loss, and this is what I take profit. This is a 1:3 trade. So copy it and see you on the other side. All right. So that's what we should be looking out for on BTC. And if this high is actually taken out, let's look at what we have on the 4 hours. If that high is taken out, then we'll look for more reason to buy to the upside. This is a trend line, and don't forget, trend line is what we have what we call trend line liquidity. So that's our liquidity, and it's because of this trend line we should be expecting this price to actually what crash all the way to the downside. I just hope this BTC comes back to tap us in. This is actually going to be a nice trade for us to actually start the week with. So let's see what C comes up with. Okay, so don't forget risk management. You don't overexpose your portfolio. It's very, very important. We don't follow because it's a plus setup and we end up overexposing our portfolio. No, I don't preach that here. Risk management is my number one words confluence by taking my trade. In as much as the trade is clean, it meets all of my trading criteria. I actually still want to see what my account is what well managed, and whatever stop loss or whatever amount you're willing to risk should be something you are comfortable, like you are very, very okay willing to what actually risk that on your stop loss. Shouldn't be something after risking it you start regretting. Okay, so let's head over to Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum. Last week, last week's setup, we actually made a lot of profit. Like for those that actually joined the last week live section and maybe you took the trades we shared on that live section, you made a lot of money. I think the only bad trade we had last week was GBP USD that we had a stop loss on that particular trade. So for Ethereum, I'll just do a quick one. We will be looking at what the 1 hour time frame. We'll be looking at the 1 hour time frame first, and okay, let me go to 4 hours so we get to see the direction of the market. Let's look at the directional bias. So from the 4 hours, we can actually see that we are also bearish on Ethereum, just like similar price action we're having on the BTC, which tells us that the crypto market is bearish. The crypto market is bearish for now. So let's just go to the 1 hour. From the 4 hours, this was the last major break we had. This was the last major break we had on these 4 hours to the upside, and this was where we had our change of character at this point, meaning we still have this zone sitting here, but this zone hasn't taken out this low. So for now, Ethereum on the 4 hours, Ethereum is still within a demand zone sitting here. So we just want to see this price maybe move down here, continue to the upside, or take out this point. Now let's go down to the 1 hour to see if we'll have any trade idea for the week. Let's see what we have on the 1 hour. So looking at the 1 hour price action, this is what our change of character we had. this break of structure to the downside. Price came back to what? This supply. Market continued to the downside. Don't forget, I'm not looking at the internal price action because we are working with time. If you want detailed analysis, then join the free classes that we are organizing. Price came back to what? Mitigate this supply here. And for this, for the last week, price came back to this other supply to actually what continue. And you can also see that what price coming back to also mitigate all of these supplies. Now, I can't actually trade from all of these supplies because having relative equal highs or having relative equal lows, they are all considered at my what? Liquidity. The way I trade, that's liquidity for me. And I wouldn't want to actually what take anything sell from any of these points. But looking at the current price action on Ethereum, I can actually what take this sell. I can actually take this sell. It's a risky sell. It's a risky sell. So this is what I'll be expecting to see on Ethereum if the sell push is still continuing. But there are reasons why this setup shouldn't hold because of what all of this what descending what lows we have here. This relative equal highs. Sorry, this relative equal highs we have here should actually what trigger price to actually what move up because for those that actually trade support and resistance, you also see that what at this point when you have many touches, what do you see? The zone fails. So and for smart money, I don't even trade from this type of zones. This is like a ranging market. You look at it here. This is like a ranging market. There is no clear break. So I would have actually loved to actually see what price take out this high or price take out the low. If this price was able to actually take out this low, giving me a clear break to the downside, then I would have actually loved to actually take this sell because what I have all of my confluences. I have a nice drop to the downside. I have my liquidity at this point. This is my liquidity. This is my liquidity sitting here. And I have my fair value gap. So I will have actually love price to move into this zone. Then what? The drop continues. So if you want to actually trade from this zone, you can refine this chart to 15 minutes when the market approaches this zone before taking your entry. Before taking your entry. But if you are what? An aggressive trader, no problem. You can actually what, go on and actually take your trade. So I think we already have the time more into 1 hour. So for Solana and BNB, maybe I will do those ones and drop on the Telegram channel. But the Telegram channel is just basically for trades I'm taking. For trades I'm taking. So I trade majorly just Bitcoin, USDT, sorry, Bitcoin, USD JPY, and GBP JPY. So just those three trades. Those are the pairs I actually was I actually trade on my account. Okay, so let's look at USD JPY this morning before we run out of time. USD JPY for the past 2 weeks, USD JPY has been acting very, very funny, and the USD JPY has refused to actually what give us food for the past 2 weeks. It's not been easy, but at least thank God for BTC. BTC has actually been giving us something very, very good, and I think all thanks to BTC for the past 2 weeks, it has been massive profit from BTC. I think I close every week on BTC with profit, and for reference purpose, you can check the Telegram group. Okay, so on USD JPY, we have this other block that we've been actually been waiting for. We've actually been waiting for because if you look at this point, this has been mitigated This was mitigated. This zone has been mitigated, and all of this internal move has been mitigated. And we were actually looking for price to either what make use of this point. It wasn't a valid zone to actually take ourselves from, to make use of this point, but price came back down at this point, took us out at break even, and you can see that what the price is continuing to the downside. And as I've always been explaining, understanding liquidity will help you to what, understand possible market direction. And I've always been of this opinion of what USD JPY has to come back to this other block. It's very, very important because you have more liquidity to the downside, like more reasons for this pair to come back down, going up. And if we should continue to the upside to fill all of this fair value gap, we want to see price actually tap into this zone. And we've been waiting for this buy. But what USD JPY is not giving us this buy setup. Is not. And what? Come on, traders, I'm willing to wait. I'm waiting. Like I'm waiting. I'm not trying to run after the pair or something. No, I always sit and just wait for my trade to come to me. That's it. And if I don't see anyone, I still what move on with my day-to-day life without pressuring anything. So that's it. So on USD JPY, we want to actually see if this drop can move down to the downside, taking out all of this liquidity we have here. We have this here. This is sitting here. Now, a lot of persons will actually want to be trading from this zone. This is what your liquidity. Once you're able to understand all of this whole liquidity concept, a lot of trades you'll be taking daily will be avoided. Like a lot will be avoided. So on USD JPY, these are what? These are all traps. These are traps. These are market traps by what? Institution or market makers. So these are what traps. We want to see this price take out this or take out this high. We have this liquidity resting here. So we still have our buy order still pending at this point. We still want to see USD JPY come back into this other block. Then we'll know our next line of action. So a drop from this point should be able to clear this liquidity. But I don't know why USD JPY is not actually giving us this buy we've been waiting for. Like we've been waiting for this buy literally from this point here since 14th August. We've actually been waiting for this buy, and market has just been snubbing us, and at this point we should have actually taken this trade, but we don't actually trade from inducement point. This was considered as what inducement for us, so we missed this buy, but no problem. We'll still actually be waiting. So coming to GBP JPY, my very good friend, my own very good friend. I think last week was massive on GBP JPY, but we deleted our position. You can check the Telegram channel. The trade was also shared there, but we deleted our position before the market tapped into our point of interest. So looking at GBP JPY, what can we see? What was the most recent price action on 1 hour? I'm looking out for more bearish pattern on the GBP JPY. So on GBP JPY, on the 4 hours, this was the last order block, and market has already mitigated that point. We have this relative equal highs. Now you can see the chart is very, very neat and it's very, very straightforward. You don't need to complicate things. Now let's look at this point. Why did we actually mark this point? You see, we have this candle wick. This is what our liquidity sitting at this point, and you see we have this our fair value gap. I don't know if my chart is clear enough. So this is this fair value gap. sitting here, and what can you see? See price tapped into it, and when a price tap into a demand zone, you actually want to see this what high either taking out or market that should be what take profit. So looking at this point, you can see market actually smash this point. So on the 4 hours, are we having anything to buy on US GBP JPY? I can't see anything buy. I can't, because it's all mitigated. It's all mitigated. There's no fair value gap. I know the number one confluence we want to actually use in taking our trade is what? Fair value gap. It's fair value gap. And want to see momentum. So if we look to the left, sorry, to the right, to the left, this has been mitigated. And to the right, at this point, the current price action, there is nothing to actually trade from this point of interest. There is nothing for us to take a trade from. So now let's step down to the 1 hour. I think the 1 hour should give us a clear price action. I've already marked here as well relative equal what? Equal highs. And whatever we have below is what? Liquidity. So we'll go down to the 1 hour time frame to actually look at for possible trade entry. I think I actually had a setup. Yes, I think I just remember I had a setup on this trade. I think the private class I took last week, I think I actually explained this trade for the person, and I took this trade, but I think spread took me out this morning. So on the 1 hour, this is what we have. This is what we have. We've already missed it. So let's see if we can still get another entry. So this is the what? The high. And this was what? Our last what? Our last low. So this was where we had what? Our change of character. We had a change of character at this point to the downside. Having a change of character to the downside, we want to see what? Market building up what? Liquidity before what? Our zone. So you see this impulsive move to the downside, we started having what? All of this choppy movement, which is what? Our liquidity. Market took them out, failed to get to our zone, and what? Market still kept on what? Building more liquidity to actually make this our point of interest a valid one. Now, looking at our point of interest, this was what I marked on the 1 hour. This was what I marked on the 1 hour, and this was what I have my fair value gap at this point. A fair value gap, and I have all of this as what? Our liquidity sitting at this point. These are liquidity. So I actually wanted to see price what tap into this zone and what continue to the downside. And it's still a valid trade till it's violated. For now, it's just what we have was what market sweep of this high. So I will send a screenshot of the trade when I was taking out. I think that was like around 2 or 3 a.m. today. So the price actually tapped me in immediately market open around 10, 11, and it was in profit over $60. I woke up to what? Price has actually taken me out. My $90 is gone. But it's all fine. It's all fine. So now this is the zone. I actually want to see this price, and why are we trying to target this point? Is because what we can't see any reason to actually take a buy on USD JPY. Look at market open with this gap. I don't know if anyone knows why there is this gap. I don't know if anyone knows why. There was a news that was released. That was, I think, yesterday. I will drop the news on the Telegram channel, and that was why we had this massive push to the upside, leaving us with what? This gap we are having here. The news happened over the weekend, and when there is a news over the weekend and the market is not in section, the market will open with a gap. The market will open with a gap. It's just like those of us that trade BTC on our brokers. Most brokers that don't open BTC over the weekends, you will always see these gaps when you come back on Monday. So this is what we're expecting on GBP JPY. We want to see price take out all of this liquidity. So we'll be looking out for more sell order this week on BTC. We'll be looking out for more sell orders. Sorry, just a BTC. We'll be looking out for more sell order on GBP JPY. Sorry, GBP JPY. So you can see it was just a little weak above my stop loss. A little weak above my stop loss. this thing didn't even get to my stop loss, but my stop loss was 200.35. So I think maybe it was spread that actually took me out. The spread actually took me out of this trade. But nevertheless, this is what we are looking at for on GBP JPY. We want to see this price continue its bearish trend to the downside. If we get any reason or any trade setup, it will definitely be also be shared on the Telegram channel. That's why I say, well, do well to join the Telegram channel, because that's where I post all of my trades. And if you take your time to go through the Telegram channel, you can see that what our trades are what highly profitable. I'm not here just to cap or something, but just take your time and just go through those trades, check the markup. You can actually also still learn from all of those trades in the Telegram channel. You can take your time, just go through them, see the way they are marked, and you can implement same on your own chart to actually what be a better trader. So that's it. A trade to take. The GBP JPY is already moving, and you should know now we don't chase after trade. It's already moving, except we want to let me see. But I would have actually loved this price action to, let's see if market can come back to tap us in. Let's see. But this was what I had as of Friday, and my stop loss was there about 3.5, I think. It was something like that. So it's actually spread that actually took me out from this position. So let's still place this and see if market comes back to tap us in. And except you want to go in using an aggressive entry, you just want to just join. And if we want to join, then we should be thinking of maybe doing a 1:2. A 1:2. Let me see if we can actually get what one entry, but I'll be placing two entries, same stop, and we can still decide to go with entry confirmation. But okay, let's see if we can get entry confirmation. Let's see if we can get what entry confirmation. But this is what I would still want to trade if this market comes back. Let me use like 40 pips as my stop loss to protect that. Okay, so I will still want to place this setup and see what happens. Please do well to apply proper risk management. Proper risk management. Let's see what we'll be able to get from this particular setup. For those that are looking for the coordinate, here is the coordinate. The entry is 200.008. We have the stop loss at 200.413, and our take profit is 198.793. It's a 1:3 trade. So let's see what we can get with this. Let's see what we can get with this, because the trade is a good one. It's a good one. You can still what hit SL. It's very possible. It's very possible. So let's look at Euro USD and its brothers. So okay, no, let's look at GBP. Let's look at the trade on GBP last week. It was a very, very clean trade. It was a very, very clean trade for last week on GBP USD. Sorry, but quite unfortunate we are taken out before the desired move, and it happens. You can still be you can still be right in your bias, and market will still do its thing. So okay, so let's just look at the 1 hour. Let's just look at the 1 hour to see if we'll be able to get any trade. So this was previous trade setup where we are looking for what a buy from this point to this are take profit, but we were taking out before market reverse. So let me take all of this out so we can actually see if we have any reason to any reason to actually take any trade on USD on GBP USD. Sorry, I don't know. GBP JPY. Don't want to leave me. All right. So we are here on the we are here on GBP USD, and if you should ask me, I'm already seeing what I think I'm seeing more bullish movement to the upside. Now, first, you have to identify our trading range, and this is what the most protected high we have at this point. And you can see that all of what we have here is what candle wicks, which tells you that we have liquidity at that point. That's on the 4 hours. And where is the last low we actually want to see if we can get a trade from. So this is the low. So this is the trading range we should be looking at for what? Our trading opportunity. Our trading opportunity. Okay. So first, let me check 2 hours to actually get a precise. Yes, now you've missed a lot now. You came late today. You came late today. Because I've not seen your comments since morning. So you are just coming. But anyways, you're welcome. Good morning. All right. So this is what we have on the 2 hours. And looking at the 2 hours price action, this was where we had the last major break to the downside. Does that give us reasons to sell? No, because we can actually take our sell order from that point. So this was where I had the major sell to the downside, having this impulsive move. And if you actually want to make a lot of profit from your setup, always consider inducement in your setup. Always consider inducement in your setup. So if you look at this point, we have this liquidity and we have this point. Now, why am I saying this is not a valid order block to actually look for trade from? We have the fair value gap here, and there is in other words, we have this other block sitting here, but we have liquidity resting. We have liquidity resting above. So invariably, this is what an invalid setup. You can watch, I think I've done a video on liquidity concept, so you can actually watch that video. It will actually help you to actually mark the right order block or to differentiate between the valid and invalid order block. So this year, we shouldn't be looking out for anything like sell. If you go down to the 4 hours, we should be looking out for maybe what? More buy to the upside. So from the 2 hours, do we have any reasons to buy GBP USD? Okay, so looking at this point, what can we see? We have a zone here, but this will be with entry confirmation, please, because this zone is too large. This is what entry confirmation. We have what all of these what relative equal lows at this point. So this is what I want to see. We want to see this liquidity taken out. This liquidity taken out. And you see the momentum from this point is different from what you have here. Different from what you have here. So this is what we want to see. We actually want to see this price fall back into this zone. We get reasons to actually what? Take this buy setup and continue the price all the way to the upside. First, you see the way I was able to explain why this buy should hold, because that's one thing you have to actually always predetermine in your setup. What is the reason? Why will this price hold and why will it fail? If you're able to identify why the setup will hold and why it will fail, then you've already taken care of one problem. So we should be looking out for what? This zone. This is what we'll be looking at for to actually what? Maybe clear all of these prices above this point, except this low is taken out. That's how we'll look forward more buy. So we just looked at this trading range here to this point, and putting your chart in a trading range is what actually helps you to get a more precise entry. Okay, so this is it on GBP for the GBP traders in the house. I've already given you what a point of interest you should be looking at for, and what to do when price comes into all of these zones. What to do when price actually comes into all of these zones. Please, a sec. All right. So let's look at AUD and maybe NZD USD. I think we did something on a USD card last week, and we need to check that trade how it actually played. I think let's check that USD card first. I don't know how many persons actually took that trade, but come on! I'm giving out a lot for free on this live channel, on this live section. Sorry, look at this was the trade we actually called at on the last live section on the USD card. We call that trade at this demand zone, and you can actually see what massive profit. See, with this, with the setups I call on this live sections, or with the trade I do call each time we go live here every Monday. See, you don't even need to go back home to do your own analysis. See, once I just call this particular setup, just take it and just forget about your account. Put your take profit, your stop loss, and come on. You don't even need to pack 1:10 in a week. Good 1:3 every week. You are up. I'm telling you. See, for those that have been actually taking trades on the Telegram channel, they can tell you that what we are on massive profits. Like we are on massive profit on the channel. You can also go back there and what check all of those setups. You will see for yourself. You will see for yourself. So please do where to always turn up every Monday, yeah, and what? Let's break down all of these things together. So this is what we have on USD card. So looking at this on USD card, I from that last week I gave a warning that what we shouldn't be looking for a sell at this point. You shouldn't be looking for what a sell at this point. But yeah, we got a market reaction at this point, but it's against what our trading rule, because what we have this liquidity above sitting here. We want to actually see all of these points filled up. So we are looking for what here should be our first take profit, and if we get a reaction to the downside, we'll look to add more position. One cook for the host. I don't need cook. Ask me for my USDT address, and and I will send that to you, please. Okay, so a quick one. What are we expecting from this now? From this, what are we expecting? We want to see price come back into this point. This is what we have. A lot of persons complain that what my trade takes time to play, my trade takes time to come to my point of interest. But you can't say my trade takes time to, but when it comes to that point of interest, it's straight to take profit. It's straight to take profit. I'm not capping. It's see, we don't do the regular year. We don't do the regular year. We take our time, and when it comes to us, it's take profit. I can't drop three, or you can't come to this live section and you place all the trade I drop for you, and you come back to say something like none. You can't even close it. You can't even close your week on a loss. You can't, except you're over leveraging your account. You can't. So looking at this point, what can we see? We have what? This was where we had a change of character, as I explained that day. We had that change of character. We had a major break to the upside sitting here. We have another break sitting here. And what? These are what? Your liquidity. Your liquidity. See, I'm so happy for those that register for this class, because what? A lot. A lot to be giving out. This 3 months is going to be on fire. So you can see that what we have, this is what our liquidity pool, and what we have this fair value gap. And if you look down, because what differentiates advanced traders from beginner traders is what your ability to actually what calm down and actually take your trade. Now we have this fair value gap here, and also have what another one at this point, and that's the reason why this other block is placed here. So we want to see what this price actually what take out this liquidity. That's liquidity sitting there. you want to see this liquidity being taken out. And once that liquidity is being taken out, this is what you want to see. You want to see price tap into this zone. And what? This is our first take profit sitting here. The trade may actually take, even if it's like days to actually what? Don't risk all. Don't risk all, please. Mr. Dave, please don't risk all. Please. Risk management still in play. No, in as much as the trade is still banger, you're still sure. No, we still don't what overexpose our account. No. So this is what we have on the on USD. I want to see price come back to this one, and this is our first check profit. And if price still sustain its bullish momentum, we want to see price. You can even see that that has a strong 4 hours order 4 hours order block. So we want to see this price being able to what move all the way down to this point. You can see what on the 4 hours. This is what an inducement on 4 hours. This is what an inducement. So this is the zone I actually want to see this price get back into. So for now, there is no trade. The only place we should be expecting to take a trade, the limit order I got on GBP JPY. If there's any other further trades to be dropped, just do it to join the Telegram channel. But all of these other trades I'm marking here on live, I don't anything that is not the pair I'm trading, I don't drop it on the Telegram channel, please note. So these ones are just for what to help traders on this live or people that actually maybe they trade something different from what I trade. So that's why I try to touch other pairs so that what they can also get to benefit from their own trades, their own trade. I think the fire this money is so is so much like we've not even done anything and it's already time up. I don't know. What do we think? What do we think? Should we still continue maybe extend the life to like 8:30 or something because we've not done anything massive. We've not done anything massive. I think I was having some technical issue this morning, so we kind of like started late. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section. Should we extend the live a little bit to 8:30 so we can look at for more setups? Let me know in the comment section, please. Let me know in the comment section, please. What do you guys think? Should we extend the life a little bit? Should we extend it to 8:30? Okay, 8:30 is great. Okay. Now let's look at AUD. AUD. Maybe for those that are going to work, that feel you can't stay, maybe you can continue with your day and maybe check back to watch the live section later to actually see other pairs that we marked, so you can maybe so you don't get to miss out on any trade that was called during the live section. So here on the 4 hours, what can we see on the 4 hours? We are looking at what just the major breaks. So here on the 4 hours, we have what we have this break to the downside, and we have this one. This was like market sweep. Okay, it was actually a break. So we had a break, and having that break, that is supposed to tell us that we're supposed to have a reaction from this zone. Don't forget, this is the inducement, and no, that's what I'm saying. Now, for those that are going to work, no, we are not extending this. We are not extending this live section. We are not extending this live section like every day. I mean, just for today, since we kind of like we started late. That's what I'm saying. Maybe we just so that we can cover up for maybe other people's setup. We usually cover like at least 8 to 10 pairs, depending shares spiritly. So we started a little bit late because of what the technical issue on my end here, on my end. So for those that are going to work, no, feel at home. You can go to work, please. So it's very, very important. You can go to work, and maybe later you just check back on the live. Maybe where you stopped, you can continue from there to watch. So that's it. So looking at the 4 hours, on 4 hours time frame, we are now bullish. Looking at this other movement, we are now what? Bullish on AUD USD. So what are we going to look at for? What can we see? If you look at this point, we had a change of character here. We had what? The internal change of character, and you see this high has been taken out, giving us what? More bullish confirmation. Giving us what? More bullish confirmation. Now, within the internal price, what can we see? We see what? A break of structure to the upside. You look at what we have, another one to upside. Now, what can we see again? We have this other block. We have this nice other block sitting here, and we also have what? Another one sitting here. So let's go down to the 1 hour to actually see the one we should be taking our trade from. Looking at both of them are very, very valid. Very, very valid. And let's see. Okay, so this is it on the 1 hour. So on this 1 hour price action, what can we see? We have what? This liquidity sitting at this point. This liquidity sitting at this point on this 1 hour. And for me to mark here as liquidity, you know that this means all of this point is what? Yeah, liquidity. But what? That's why I'm just putting this line at this point so that what? You understand. You understand. It's not everything I will be breaking down to like we are in kindergarten or something. Okay, so this is on the 1 hour. So why are we looking at this other block first on the 1 hour? If you look on the 1 hour, this was where we had the last impulsive move to the upside, and this actually gave us what? A break of structure, no doubt. This gave us a break of structure, but what? Is there a fair value gap anywhere here? Anywhere here? Oh, there's a zone here. There's a zone here, but you can't. Your zone can actually be below. Sorry, your zone can actually be above. Like, since we have liquidity here, this zone is invalid because there's a fair value gap here, and this is where you had the last push to the upside. But this is what? A more valid zone. And with this other zone, you have what? More confluences. What? We have all of this liquidity sitting here. All of this liquidity sitting here and this zone. So we want to see price actually tap into this zone and continue to the upside. Or we'll look at this other zone. You see, we will have another what? Massive impulsive move at this point. So this other zone looks more realistic. But the both of them are valid. So but when you have two zones like this, you have to take the one that have immediate liquidity before. And that's how we are looking at this other zone. That's how we're looking at this other zone. So this zone should be something to actually take into consideration. And if we should take this into consideration, remember, your take profit should always be at least 1:3, or you try to target the last high. So if we should place our buy order at this point, 1:3. Let me adjust the stop loss properly. So this is like, okay, this is like a 21 pips. So these are 1:3, and if you look at this point, these are 1:5 plus. So targeting 1:5 on this, it looks more realistic coupled with the push we are having. So if you are on any sell position, abort that particular mission, please abort, because we are bullish and we expect more push to the upside. Now, if you want to actually look for maybe a possible sell here, maybe retracement to actually take this price down, you have to be very, very careful so you don't end up setting yourself up. You have to be very, very careful so you don't end up setting yourself up, because you may end up saying you want to go down to 5 minutes, 15 minutes or something to refine this entry to actually suit yourself, and you get burned. Always try to trade with the direction of the trend. It will save you a lot of stress and a lot of what I can't. I'm speaking from personal experience. Don't try to always act smart or you want to see when you follow your rules. When you follow your rules, yes, you may not pack all the funds one day, but the truth is your account will survive for a longer period of time. Your account will survive for a longer period of time. That's one thing I can tell you. Your account will survive for a longer period of time. That's it. So please always try to take trade with the trend. Always try to trade in accordance with the trend, and don't try to be smart. No, don't. So let's look at SZD USD. I think we might end it there for those that are going to work, so that they don't get to miss a lot, because I'm sure I'm sure they're still hanging around. They don't want to miss any call this morning. And before we end it, we'll look at our GPP if our trade has triggered. I don't know how many persons placed that trade, but I've already placed it on my MT5. Okay, so here on GBP, sorry, GPJPY, please now. So here on NZD USD, what can we see? This is what the last supply. This is what our last supply, and this is what our inducement. This is our inducement, and you can see that what this low has been what taken out. This low has been taken out. So coming down to the 2 hours, let's see what the 2 hours is telling us. But on the 4 hours, we still have on the 4 hours we still have this. we have this sitting here. People will go to work now. This is like the last. This is the last setup you're looking at. This is the last setup, please. So this is what we have on the 4 hours. This is what I want to see on the 4 hours. So on the 4 hours, this is what we want to see. So I actually want to see this price. Sorry, on the 2 hours, we want to see this price what come back into this zone. Let's go down to the 1 hour. If we can actually what get any setup. Why am I seeing a trap? Okay, so on the 1 hour, I'm seeing this zone on the 1 hour, and we have our liquidity sitting here on this 1 hour. This was what our market sweep, but we had reversal to the upside, and you can see we just recently took out this other high. So I actually want to see this market pull back to this zone, and if maybe this zone is taken out, then this is the last zone we have. Want to see price actually take out from. I hope we all enjoyed today's live section and we got value from it. So please, before you leave, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. How was today's live section? Please do rate the live section, and if you've not subscribed, please do well to support this channel. Subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know if today's live section you actually got value from it, and like this live section if you've not done that. Give me that like and leave a comment below. Or do you want me to come and beg you for money? One of these days, I will come to live section and just drop my USDT address so that what people will do a donation to help the poor. Okay. Before we end it, let's just look at the GBP JPY to actually see. Oh, crazy, crazy, crazy. Can you see it? Can you see the push to the downside? Can you see this push to the downside? The class. If maybe you're just joining the live section, just when the live section end, it's automatically being uploaded on YouTube, so you can always what you can always rewatch the live section. It's here on the channel. It's not just go over it within the next 1 hour. You'll be done. The live section I think is like 1 hour plus. So you just take your time, calm down, and just watch through what we did. And if it's the class you're talking about, for the class will be starting. We'll be starting the class by next month. That's by October to run till December or till when we exhaust the course outline. But we should be able to exhaust that in 3 months. So that's it. So I think we've already missed out on this. We've already missed out on the GBP JPY because I didn't actually go in with current market price. I actually used the limit, this one, but assuming I went in with current market price, then it would have been it would have still be profit. So see you by Monday, same time, and please do well to come with someone when you're coming by Monday. Come with someone to actually come to what benefit and also what tap from the knowledge you are getting. Don't be stingy, bro. Don't be stingy, sister. Please do well to come with someone so that what this community gets bigger and bigger. Let's pack out some good funds. All right. Thank you. Have a nice week ahead. Do have a blessed day. See you some other time. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Bye, traders.